Hey folks, what's up? Welcome back to the Deron Harris Podcast. It is your boy Darren, the host of the Deron Harris Podcast. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning back in. I do appreciate it. Episode number 29 today. Today we are talking about, I'm talking about, I don't have any guests or anything like that, so I'm talking about the artist formerly known as Kanye West. And everything that he's been through. And this cat has been through a lot. He really has. So we're going to be talking about some of the things, or I'm going to be talking about some of the things he's going through. But first, I want to do a quick, fast mental health check. Folks, how you doing? How's your mental health this week? Mine's doing all right. I'm doing okay this week, I think. I had a meeting with my therapist the other day, and she noticed that I seemed a lot less depressed. And I told her it's because I had some things that I have to do, that I have to focus on, which is my wife. Her cousin is getting married on Saturday. And if anybody who knows me knows that I'm also a photographer and that I was a wedding photographer back in, some time ago in New York. And, but I stopped doing it. And now I've kind of picked it back up. So I'm going to shoot her cousin's wedding. So I've had to focus. I've had to, accumulate some, materials. I've had to get some equipment, and, I've just gone through a lot of old technique, and I've been watching a lot of videos and trying to brush the dust off, and I've been practice shooting, and, I've gone out and just shot, whatever I can to get myself back in the habit of shooting photographs on a professional level, let's say. I'll be shooting it as an amateur because, like I said, I haven't shot in some time, not any kind of serious wedding or anything like that, any kind of, functions. So I'm excited. And she noticed, and I want to say for this week, my mental health is doing pretty good. I hope everybody out there is having a pretty good week also, mentally and physically. I don't want anybody to be hurt out there, laid up in traction or no shit like that. So I hope everybody is doing well mentally and physically. If you want to talk about anything, DM me. I'm available, man. Drop a line, follow me, get on my social media, follow me, and drop me a line, and we'll sit and I'll discuss whatever you want to discuss. I'm no therapist or anything like that, but I'm a good guy to listen. I'll listen to anybody. If you want to get things off your chest, especially if it's a matter of life and death or whatever, get at me. Just hit me up. So, all right. Make sure your mental health is good. I want to give a couple of shout outs this week, and I haven't done this yet, and I want to do this now, and I think I'm going to start doing it a little bit more. I'm going to give a shout out to the label, not really necessarily the label, the studio that lets me do my podcast. Shout out to the Podcast Playground and everybody that makes it work down there. Anybody down there that makes it work. My man Gentry Thomas, my man Jay Yandel, DJ TK, anybody, Memphis, my man, everybody, what I'm saying? Everybody down there that's making it happen, because I was there on some humble beginnings, and now it has grown into, something pretty formidable. And I'm honored to be a part of it, and I feel blessed to be a part of it. I wish these guys continued success and luck. And also I want to shout out my label mates also. I got some label mates, or some studio mates as I'd call them. My man SBK. So brother Kevin is out there. He is a trucker, man. He's out on the open road doing his podcast in his 18-wheeler. The other day he posted something, or he sent me something. He went through Delaware, and he took a couple of pictures and sent to me, and then he went through Pennsylvania and took a couple of pictures and sent them to me again. So this guy is out here doing it. You know what I'm saying? So definitely check the brother out, Soul Brother Kevin, on the podcast Playground. Also, I got another label mate. Now, I haven't met her yet. Her name is Bridget B. She has a podcast called Dirty Blonde. She is a professional porn star. That's right, I said it. A professional porn star. Her name is Bridget B. If you're a fan, then I'm sure you might want to check her podcast out. It's pretty dope. If you haven't never heard of her, give her a listen. She's out there. She's doing her thing, and I want to give her a shout out. So shout out, and I want to wish you continued success with your podcast, Bridget, and your career. Hopefully, everything is going fine. So shout out to Bridget B. Also, I want to shout out the other podcast, another podcast, the Outcast Podcast, and those dudes. What they do is there's 4 of them, and they sit and they talk. They talk about anything from politics to, sex to whatever. It's 4 dudes. They cracking up. It's a white dude, a Latin dude, a black dude. And, they get down. It's a real funny podcast. So I like listening to it. It's called the Outcast Podcast. And you could catch us all right here on the podcast Playground. So shout out to my label mates today. I definitely appreciate you folks. So, and it's a pleasure to work with y'all as well. So. Moving right along to the Dope Shit Award for today. Dope Shit I think it's pretty dope. Now, my girl Riri, she ain't had no new music out in about 6 years. She ain't put nothing out in about 6 years. And recently, we just got some news that she is about to put out some new music on the Black Panther soundtrack. So, shout out. And also, I think that's the dopest shit because I'm a fan of Rihanna. Doing something, doing something like that. I mean, especially on some Wakanda Forever, because if anybody personifies Wakanda, what I'm saying, it would be Rihanna. You know what I'm saying? I think she is very Wakanda-esque, if there is such a word. So, Dope Shit Award this week goes to Rihanna for her entry on the Black Panther soundtrack. Now, I tried to catch up a little bit of the song on YouTube, and all I got was a little excerpt of it. There's no leak, no nothing yet. So I patiently await to see what's happening on the Black Panther soundtrack and any of the other artists that are on there as well. But I know that I'm, really excited about Rihanna being on there. So if you're a Rihanna fan, dope. If you're a Black Panther fan, even doper. So it's going to be dope. Yeah. And that's that. Dope Shit Award. So what have I been listening to this week? And I can't front. I've been listening to a lot of Kanye, man. I've been listening to a lot of Kanye West. I've been checking it out. The brother was talented. Well, now I say it like he died, but the brother is very talented. That brother, I can't say it no other way. That brother is extremely talented. You know what I'm saying? He's got some issues, man, but he has been there. I think Kanye for the last 20 years has been a part of all of our lives here in this country, one way or another. From every walk of life, this man's songs have affected us. We've danced to them. Some of us have walked down the aisle to them. I did. My wife's from Chicago, so she was and I feel bad because she got let down twice because R. Kelly let her down and not Kanye letting her down. So I hate it for you, girl. I hate it for you. We'll talk about it later. But I've been listening to a lot of the dude's tracks, man, and even tracks that he did with other artists that he made, where he produced, and tracks where he didn't produce and he just rapped. I just been listening to all, and just as well as I do what they are. I don't have to go into great detail about any of the Kanye music because I'm sure. If you're a Kanye fan, you know the Kanye music, and a lot of us are Kanye fans or were Kanye fans. So I definitely want to acknowledge the fact that that brother has dope music, and nobody can ever take that away from him. Am I going to stop listening to his music? I don't know. Am I going to remember the shit that he says and some of the shit that he does? I probably won't forget. He's done a lot of off the wall crazy shit, so probably won't forget that. But one thing I won't forget either is he made some really good tunes that I've had some really great times to, so I'll remember him for that. And those are my earbuds for the week. For the strain of the week, though, it is an old favorite from a long time ago in my life, and it is called the Tangy. That's right, Tangy. It is a sativa. It is so wonderful. It is a cross between California Orange and Skunk Number Uno. That's right. And if you like me, I really funk with some skunk. So, my man Jay introduced me to it many, many, many moons ago, and man, can't even tell you. Immediately I was a fan. It is a pretty bud. It is very pretty. It is sticky as well, so it's super dank. Of course, we all know this. The more sticky, the more dank it is. So it is extremely sticky, and that was one of the things I loved about it the most, because I just anticipated as long as it was around, I just anticipated it was gooey, it was tasty, very pungent, just yummy flavored. It tasted like orange and citrus, and it really did. A little skunky, but it had kind of like some tropical notes to it. I didn't really have any of the negative side effects. I know that there's some negative side effects that people are reporting, but I didn't have any of that. I really got the maximum from it, which was, I had a lot of energy. I ate a lot because it made me hungry. I was very creative. I wrote a bunch of jokes. I even, I sketched out a graffiti piece, which I haven't done that in a long time. And that was part of things in as far as my, talking with my counselor earlier, I had told her that I was doing stuff that I haven't done since I was a kid, that I really enjoyed. And that was one of the things that she had suggested that I try and get back to, is some of the things that I enjoyed. And I had always for years thought that, my art skills had diminished, but I surprised myself. So, I attribute that to getting inside the dome up here and sitting on some Tangy, on some like, oh yeah, oh yeah. So it was good. So if you got access to it, definitely go check it out. If you don't have access to it, try and get access to it. And that's the strain of the week. And yeah, I think that's going to do it for the strain of the week. And I'm going to take a couple of seconds to take a break and get a glass of water, maybe go to the bathroom and let the sponsor speak. And I'll be back with what's going on or what's popping this week. You are listening to the Deron Harris Podcast. Yeah, folks, you're listening to me. It's Deron Harris. Come back. Don't go away, actually. Don't even go nowhere. Stay here. It's the Deron Harris Podcast.
At the Home Depot, we have the tools to make your holiday magic in the easiest way possible. With our easy-to-assemble artificial trees, you can have a fully shaped, realistic tree up in your house within minutes. And your holiday look wouldn't be complete without our classic animated Santa that collapses for easy storage. Get free delivery on over 2 million eligible items, and you can spread holiday cheer to the whole neighborhood easily. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Hey folks, what's up? Welcome back to the podcast. I took a couple of minutes, had to take care of some business back there in the back. So this week's podcast is the meat and potatoes of the podcast is Kanye, the artist formerly known as Kanye West, or he is getting ready to be that. I mean, especially if he wants to try to maintain any kind of face, he needs to, I think it's over, really. I think it's going to be over here soon for Kanye West. And do I feel bad for the brother? Some ways, yes, but some ways, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But some ways, yeah, I do kind of feel for the brother. You know what I'm saying? I do kind I do kind of feel for the dude, but I at the other turn, I don't. Nah, man, no. Nah, you doing this to yourself. You know, I feel that you're doing this to yourself. You know, so, you know, it goes way back. It goes way back. I mean, I guess it goes back as far like when his mother got killed. That's when he really started to kind of change. When his mother, when, you know, when he was in a bad accident, mother died, and of course, you know, I mean, if my mother died, you know, especially that way, I would, come on now, I get it, I understand, bro, but he spiraled into a direction that I don't think anybody ever expected that he would spiral into, and he is comfortable in it, and he is sitting there in it, and he is living there in it, and it is toxic, not to only him, but the people around him, the people that care for him. I mean, look at his kids got to sit there and watch him do this. I mean, that to me, I feel sorry for them. You know what I'm saying? I feel sorry for his children, because I mean, it's crazy to sit there and watch your pops just unravel like that. You know, I've sat and watched my father, you know, cry a few times, and it's heartbreaking. You know, it's gut-wrenching, and it drives me, you know, it drove me to a point where I was breaking as well, just to sit there and watch my father break down. You know, I've watched my parents break down, and that shit is not fun. It is not cool. It don't feel good, especially when you can't do anything. It feels like you're powerless. You can't even help them. You don't know what they're going through. They won't share anything with you, or they feel like you're too young to share anything, or you can't relate to what they're going through. I don't know what it is, but you know, you sit there as a child, you're affected by this, you know, and that is one thing that I don't think my man is really paying attention to or not taking into account, because if he was, I think that to try and solve some things, he might try and go get some help. Maybe he has, but maybe he needs to stick with it. And I don't really think he's sticking with it if he's doing anything. He's starting to look bad. I mean, it's spiraling out of control. You know, it's hurtful to watch. You know, I'm a producer, man. I'm a beat maker, and you know, I always have looked up to that dude as far as his music and technical skills were concerned. As far as making music were concerned, I tried to model a lot of my tracks after some of his tracks, to no avail, because the brother is just so deep when it comes to that. But there's something else a lot deeper going on with this dude, and everybody is just kind of, you know, ganging up on him, but he's kind of ganging up on himself at the same time with everybody else, but everybody's ganging up on him, and man, a lot of things before the White Lives Matter shit transpired, he was already in a bunch of shit. The Pete Davidson shit fucked him up real bad. You know, him, getting down with Donald Trump, that shit, you know, that fucked him up real bad. Him trying to run for president, all that shit fucked him up real bad. I mean, really, it really did a number on my man. He is doing a number on himself. That was something a therapist told me. You are doing a number on yourself. And it really is true. This brother is in here doing himself, and doing himself lovely. He is doing himself in like I've never seen before. The only thing I could really compare this to almost is when like Howard Hughes, if you know who Howard Hughes was, he was like an aviator, real rich guy. He was, you know, real popular back in he lived a long time ago. But that dude, he went slap crazy. That dude went straight up crazy. And I think that there might be something that is wrong. I don't want to call him crazy. You know, I mean, I really don't. You know, there might be something seriously mentally wrong with Kanye West. And I don't know what it is. I know at this moment he's not trying to get any help. I just hope that the end of this doesn't end with the end of him. You know, I hope that he doesn't do anything rash to hurt himself or anybody else around him. You know, because at least if you could keep yourself out of that, you can make amends. You know what I'm saying? You could try to come back from that. Like, Will Smith smacking Chris Rock at the Oscars is nothing compared to what's going on with Kanye, man. I mean, and that what went on with Will Smith and Rock, that's still real. That's still really serious. People still talking about that, but it pales in comparison to all the things that have been going on with Kanye. All of his friends are starting to. His friends are starting to. They really ain't fucking with dude right now. Dude put on the White Lives Matter shit, and then everything around him started crumbling. Twitter, Instagram shut him down. The radio shutting him down. He's getting less plays than he used to get. All the brands, Adidas, Gap, Foot Locker, TJ Maxx, everybody shutting you down, man. Your wife and your sister-in-law shooting shots at you on social media. The documentary you're supposed to be done. Your agency, creative artists, peace out. They even took your fucking your wax statue out of the wax museum in London. Your sports brand taking a hit. Jaylen Brown from the Celtics, and I think one other dude from I think the LA Rams, somebody like that. They shut you down, bro. And Def Jam, my man, Def Jam killing you. Just they killing you off. They not killing you off. You're killing yourself off, homie. Come back, dude. Come back to us. I don't know if anybody is listening to my podcast. I hope that somebody is listening to my podcast. I don't know if anybody who knows Kanye personally is listening to my podcast. But if anybody is out there, even including Kanye, I don't care. I might even add him for this podcast. At Kanye West, because I really would like him to hear this. Because, brother, I'm praying for you. You know what I'm saying? You got some hurt going on that nobody knows what's going on with you, man. I'm sure everybody, and you got a lot of pressure on you, man. There's a lot of pressure on you. So I just want you to know that I am praying for you, Kanye. I'm praying for you. Now, am I condoning what you said? Fuck no. What you said was crass, is bullshit. I don't get down like that. And a lot of people, they shouldn't fuck with you behind it. But I'm praying for you, man. I'm praying that you find your way. I'm praying for, your children, and I'm praying for your family. I know your mother looking down. I'm praying for her too. I'm praying for all your fans, dude. I'm praying for all the people that are affected by this. I'm praying for all the Jewish people. I'm not Jewish. I'm still going to pray for them, though. Because we all need to heal from this, because this is a bigger problem. This is a bigger problem than just Kanye West. This is something that has been going on in our country, and not even just our country, on our planet, the entire world. This has been going on forever. Just racial hatred. Racial and ethnological, if that's even a word, hatred. And what in the fuck is up with that? I can't even get it. I really can't get it. I really can't get it. Everybody's so quick to be so negative on people and their race and what they do with their race. And, and black folks are guilty too. They sit and crack jokes about white folks all the time. Crack of this and crack of that, and do the same thing with every other race. We do the same shit. It's all of us. We are all feeding into it. We are all perpetually feeding into it. And now it's to the point where, the train is off the rails now. I don't ever think that we could get this back. I don't think we can try as diligently as we can, but I don't have a lot of optimism for it. I really don't. I really would like there to be, I really would, man. I really would like there to be a lot of optimism as far as our, country and race relations, but everybody's, armed now. Everybody talking shit. Oh, you come up around me, I'm gonna shoot the shit. Everybody want to shoot the shit out of each other now. That it's just itchy trigger fingers, and now people just randomly going around shooting people. Bam. just cuz, man. And it's crazy, man. And I pray for those people who have that ideology. I pray for the Christians that have that ideology, because there's a lot of Christians that have that same ideology, that same racially, and you know, everybody, man. I hate it. So I'm gonna pray, and I'm not a pastor. I'm not some sort of religious dude, or I'm really not. But this is one thing that I really have always strongly believed in. And this is something I really strongly believe that I want to pray about. So my mom's a pastor. I'm going to tell her to pray about it, even though I already know she does. But I'm just going to tell her to pray a little bit harder. And if you out there and you listening to me, I want you to pray for it also. And I also want you to kind of toss it aside and just pray for this man. You know, just pray for this man and the things that he's going through, because he is under a lot of pressure. And did he bring it on himself? Yes, absolutely. Yeah, but I'll say it. He who lives, it's a Bible verse. He who is without sin. Yeah, there it is. He who is without sin, let them cast the first stone. You know, and that's the truth. We all guilty of some shit. We all guilty of some shit. I'm sure people in the back of their mind, and we know this is true, people in the back of their mind talk about nigga this and nigga that. Really. Some people that you know. Some people that you know. Some people that call themselves your friends. And that is the truth, my friends. It's just out there. It just really is. I don't want it to be. It's hard, but it's out there. But people gotta want to do something about it. You know what I'm saying? People gonna want to do something. They gotta want to do something about it. You know, and earlier in the podcast, I'm gonna tell you. I'll get back to Kanye in a second. But early in the podcast, I shouted out a few of my label mates, and I left one out. And the reason I left him out is because I've had some dealings with him, and to my knowledge, and as far as I'm concerned, and as far as I've felt personally, he has got some of those issues. And for a long time, I just wouldn't fuck with him. You know, whatever it is, what it is, I just won't talk to you. I just won't engage with you like that, whatever. But you know what, though? I'm going to pray for that brother, and I'm going to shout you out, too. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to pray for that brother. You know what I'm saying? Because he needs it. He needs the guidance. He's been in some trouble himself. He's got some issues going on himself. We all do. But he needs some prayer, man. He needs some guidance. We all do, man. Everything is falling apart, man, all over the world, man. And this is just one more thing that's just, you know, that's just not even necessary. You know, we killing our own selves with shit that's not even pertaining to race. But we still throwing this in the mix. You know? You got white folks killing white folks over in the Ukraine. But you got black folks killing black folks here in Chicago. It's backwards ass racism now. That shit crazy as hell to me, man. It's just crazy how we could just sit up and put somebody down because of their ethnicity, because of their, you know, or their religious beliefs, or the color of their skin, or their social economic status, their sexual orientation, etc., etc., etc. It's crazy how we do that. We pass judgment so easy when our asses are dirty like everybody else. Our assholes are just as dirty as the asshole next to us. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Kanye, are you an asshole? Yes, dude, you're an asshole, man. Will I listen to some of your music if it's on? Yeah, probably. Will I bob my hair? Bob my head to it? Yeah, probably. Why? It was a good tune. You know what I'm saying? But do I fuck with you? You're going to have to show me some other shit, dude. Otherwise, I really can't fuck with that because, you know, the Jewish people, they do what they want for themselves. It is what it is. If they want to hate on me, but I'm not going to hate on them. You know what I'm saying? If, you know, because Jewish people believe, you know, that they're the only ones going to heaven. But that's cool. Christians believe that they're the only ones going to heaven. But that's cool because Buddhists believe that they're the only ones going to their version of heaven. But that's cool because Catholics believe, and etc. and Muslims, and you follow me? You follow me? I got some great Jewish friends, man. I'm going to shout out my man, Dave Young, man. I'm sorry I've been neglecting the shit out of you as a friend. I'm sorry that I've been a bad friend. I've been going through some things, as you can hear. But, yeah, man, solid dude, man. He was my boss first. I've been working for this motherfucker for a long time. And just after I stopped working for him, we just stayed friends. And because he's just a solid dude, real. My brother. You know what I'm saying? And other ones, other people. Muslims. I got Muslim friends that are friends with my Jewish friends and vice versa. All kind of shit, man. Because people have learned to, A, accept people for who they are, and B, not pass judgment on people. I live in an area where people real quick to pass judgment on you. If you don't believe in Jesus Christ, you're going to hell. I live in an area just like that. And I don't necessarily believe that because, like I said in my last podcast, God gave us all our own brains. He gave us all our own minds to think with what we want. And so in that, we are all pieces of God. We are all pieces of God. You know what I'm saying? So, I just look at it like this. All right? I look at it like this. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. If you want somebody to judge you because of their race, then okay. Judge them because of their race. But, what goes around comes around. And that's what you're going to get. You reap what you sow. But if you're against that, then stand up against it, man. Don't be afraid to. Don't be afraid to call people out. Don't be afraid to be like, yo, I'm offended behind that. Yo, I saw a YouTube video of a little Asian girl just, nigga, all over. You black nigger, on us in New York City subway. And I swore somebody in New York, because, there's a lot of black folks in New York. I swore somebody was going to get up and knock her out. But I sat there and I listened, and I was very, very proud, I would like to add. I was very proud of my people, because there was a few people recording and a few people in the background talking, but no one moved towards violence. They stayed steadfast in what they were talking about. They were articulate, and they shut chick down. And she was just angry, and I want to pray for her too. Whoever she is, I want to pray for her too. You know what I'm saying? Because it's more and more and more of that. The dudes who put in Los Angeles, the white supremacist dudes who said Kanye was right, Kanye was right about the Jews. Them dudes too. As fucked up as they are, man. Yeah, y'all fucked up. But I'm going to pray for y'all too. You know what I'm saying? I'm still going to pray for you. You know what I'm saying? I hope you get it. I hope you understand. You know what I'm saying? And go back and watch American History X. You know what I'm saying? If you guys want to get a little closer to it, go back and watch American History X. Great movie, man. Guy Torry and Edward Norton. Go check it out, man. Check it out. Loved that movie. Loved it. You could learn some shit. Our whole country could learn some shit behind this. There's so many things that we have to learn about each other. And instead of embracing each other, we push each other further and further away when we could be closer than ever. But we just sit here and perpetuate it and live in our glass houses and pick up the biggest rocks and throw the biggest stones. It's shitty, man. It really is just a shitty time. And man, I want him to chill out. I want Kanye to chill, man, and I want you to bounce back, because I know there's many, many more years of good music, but the rate you going, we ain't never going to get to hear it, because ain't nobody going to play it, for one, because you see what happened to R. Kelly and his stupid ass. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker. It just, deprived all of us of some great ass music. And R. Kelly, I can't even listen to his shit. I can't even listen to that shit. A, for a couple of reasons. A, because I don't fucking want to. But B, because you can't find that shit nowhere now. It's like bootleg shit now. R. Kelly music is like bootleg music now. You got to get that shit on the straight up underground. And then it's like, you might be exiled for listening to that shit by your homies. Don't get caught listening to some R. Kelly shit. Really? Don't do that. Don't be listening to R. Kelly. God forbid. You ain't there yet, Kanye, but you cruising right towards that space, brother. You cruising right towards that space where you will be, you'll never be forgotten for the bullshit, but you'll definitely never be forgotten for admiring Hitler. What the fuck are you talking about? You admire Hitler? You're a fucking idiot, Kanye. And I hope that you listening. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to call you straight out, brother. You're a fucking moron. You know what I'm saying? Now, you are no longer a billionaire. So take your name off that list. You know what I'm saying? Now you're no longer in the billionaire boys club. You can't go in this room no more, bruh. And in a few minutes, you're not going to be able to go in any of these rooms, bro. For real. But you don't care. Or maybe you do. If you care, if you in there, Kanye, blink twice. I don't know, man. If you in there, show us a sign, brother, that you in there. Otherwise, we just going to take it that you just got assimilated by the Borg, and that's all she wrote for Kanye, man. And I really hate to do it. I really hate to write you off. I really hate to not fuck with you, dude, because, we love you, man. We've loved you. We have loved you, Kanye. We have loved you, man. Even little Jewish kids at their little bar bat mitzvah playing Kiss the Sky. Even they loved you, man. It's a shame, bro. It's a disgrace. I got to call it what it is. It's disgrace. It's the truth, and sometimes the truth hurts the worst. It's disgraceful. It's not only disgraceful to yourself, but it's disgraceful to your fucking people, man. It's a disgrace, man. Yeah, and so what? You got some issues with Jewish people. Whatever, dude. I got issues with spiders, but I don't go fucking with them. I don't go randomly just shouting shit out, and I got problems with spiders, motherfucker. And these fucking spiders, come on now. You know what I'm saying? And if you are having these feelings, man, why are you not asking yourself why? Why? Where do these feelings come from? Where do these feelings come from? And how do I fix them? And really, I don't understand how you don't see this as a problem. I just don't see how you don't see how, fucking with, President Trump, the first time I ever called that motherfucker that. First, like with Trump and admiring Hitler and all of this anti-Semitic shit and, anti-gay, bruh. We over it, bro. And in a minute, the whole country, not even the whole country, the whole world, what you have in the palm of your hand right now is going to do it without you. You follow me? You straight up and you showed your ass in some interview I watched. Adidas can't drop me. Adidas can't drop me because of blah, 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 because of I'm Kanye. Adidas can't drop me. Drop. Motherfuckers dropped you like a hot ass rock, bro. You got to do something, man. The last thing I want to see you do is go out, like Kurt Cobain. Really don't want to see that. Really don't want to see that. So that's why I'm going to pray for you, brother. And I think everybody else, anybody who's listening, like I said, man, everybody, pray for the brother, man. Please pray for Kanye. Pray for Ukraine, but also pray for Kanye, man. Please. So I think I'm going to get off the gas pedal because I've been leaning on it pretty hard for a few minutes. I'm going to take another break, and when I come back, RV Life with the wife. You are listening to the Deron Harris Podcast.
Will they find a home? Sponsored by Geico. Steve is intrigued by the paranormal.
Otherworldly spirits really make a house a home, you know?
Janice has different taste.
I'd like my house to not be haunted.
Compromise is tough, but these two won't have to compromise when they bundle home and car insurance with Geico. It's easy, and they could save even more. In the end, Steve and Janice found a renovated Victorian that's only haunted from 9 to 5.
Okay, wife's home. I gotta bounce.
Bye, Steve.
Bundling without compromise at Geico.com.
Hey folks, welcome back to the podcast. Yeah, man. So, in a nutshell, that's how I feel. That's I hope Kanye can get through the things that he's dealing with, man. I really do. And like I said, everybody out there, y'all pray for him. Okay. So, all right, where am I at? RV life with the wife. This week, man, I got some exciting shit coming up, bro. Listen to this. Now, I'm recording my podcast right now because at 5:30 tomorrow morning, I think, which will be Friday, I will be my wife and I and all of our animals will be taking our very first official road trip in our RV. That's right. We are hitting the road. In actuality, we're going to Orlando. Like I said in the beginning of the podcast, we're going to Orlando to shoot a wedding for her cousin. Well, we have looked at some RV parks, and we're going to park it right in one of these little RV parks. And we're going to, it's a full hookup. We already put the deposit down. We lot number 127 or something like that. And it's going to be in Kissimmee, and we real excited about it. We just excited. We excited. That's what we bought it for. We bought it for the freedom to be able to do stuff like this. And while we're down there, the cool thing about it is while we're down there, her sister lives there, her niece and nephew lives there, my son lives there, my father lives down there, and my sisters, and I have cousins all over that place, all over. And she got cousins there too. So both of us have family in that area. So we are super excited to show off our motorhome to our respected sides of the family, because everybody's been watching our Instagram posts and things like that, but nobody has, except for my mother. Yeah, I think my mother has been and my nephew have been the only ones really from our sides of the family to really see it, in person, to really actually check it out, to put their hands on it and get up in it. Now, my mother and neither my nephew, they haven't ridden in it yet, but, they've been inside. So we are officially taking our first trip at 5 o'clock this morning. Now, I am leaving at 5 o'clock this morning because, like I said in the last podcast, driving the motorhome is stressful. It's stressful. It's supposed to be relaxing, but in traffic, regular traffic, interstate traffic, stressful. 2-lane highway traffic, stressful. It's just stressful. It's stressful on a 2-lane highway because the whole RV is as wide as the lane. So you have very, very little margin for error, especially in a Class A. That's how I feel in it. It's like driving a city bus. It's nice you're towering above everybody, but people doing speeds of excess of 55, 65 on those little back roads going, in there listening to their music. And I'm just trying to do the speed limit 55, stay alive. And everybody back there is trying to be, Mario Andretti back there or Batman. I don't know who they think they are back there. And, it's scary. I have anxiety. That I have legitimately talked to my therapist about driving anxiety. I'm starting to have anxiety. And I don't want to take the interstate during the day because we all know how that is living in Florida. It's like Morpheus said in The Matrix, no matter what, stay off the highway. Because it's like that. It's perilous. I mean, it is. A couple of days ago, tractor trailer, I guess the guy fell asleep right here, a couple exits down from my exit between where I live in Gainesville. Crashed the truck, killed himself, died, and it's crazy. I mean, there are people out here, I don't know what the circumstances were, but even still, there was an incident when we lived down in Clearwater, Dunedin, down in that way in Florida, where there were some people that were racing on one of the causeways, and the dudes was racing so fast. It was a white, like a Dodge Charger Challenger. That dude flipped over into the water, and he died. You know what I'm saying? That dude died. Crazy business from trying to be Batman. I don't know what it is. Why people can't just, go to speed limit, maybe 5 miles above the speed limit, go around somebody pass them, but buck it back down in order to keep not only yourself alive, but people around you alive as well. Because I like my life, even if you don't like yours. Because I don't know, if you're going in excess of 95 miles per hour, you don't like your life. You really don't like your life, because 95 miles per hour, you think you are in control, but you are not in control. Especially if something jumps out in front of you, either you're just going to run it over, kill it, and keep going like the douchebag you are, or you're going to lock up your brakes, and you're going to careen and crash out of control and maybe kill yourself and maybe a few other people. Douchebag shit. So, that's one of the reasons that I'm not really right now ready to take my motorhome on the interstate. I'm not really ready to do that. So the solution that I have come up with is spend as little time on the interstate as I can during the day, but perhaps early in the morning, in order to make some decent time, I can take the interstate when there's no cars on the interstate. But as soon as it starts to be on some traffic, get off, and there's a highway where it's 2 lanes on either side, but it's a local highway, so the speed limit only ever gets up to 65. So, and I usually do about 55, maybe 60 in the RV. I drove it last week, and I think I maxed out. I was like, ooh, at like 60. So, I'm trying to stay around 55, 60, where I could just be leisurely with it. And, doing 55 on the interstate, you definitely getting ran down by everybody, and everybody, I just don't want to deal with that. So, I'm going to take these, quick, fast, local 2-lane highway. And the good thing about that also is if things happen, I'm not stuck out here on the interstate. I can get to a little town, or there's a little town, or a strip mall or something I can pull into and get some help on the little 2-lane highway. So that is another reason. And also to kind of learn a little bit more about the direction that we're going, the route that we're taking, the state that we live in, just the little towns that we're going to or passing through, just learning a little bit more about this and that and whatever else. We're trying to take another trip around the New Year's Eve. We're trying to be someplace else on New Year's Eve in the RV, just to kind of experience it in a different place. So we're excited to take this trip, but at the same time, still very cautious and still very nervous about taking it. Now, my wife, she is not going to be driving, so she will be there for moral support. And also, she has to work at the same time, so she's got to log into work. And so I will be driving down the road, and hopefully we'll get some decent hotspot area, and she'll be able to continue to work and get her work done. But if not, if she can't get any work done, then of course we have to get someplace situated where she can get some decent hotspots, so she can get some decent data, so she can work for the day. And then we'll continue on to our destination, which is going to be down in Kissimmee at I forgot the name of the RV park. I think it's like Kissimmee RV Resort. I hope I'm saying it right. I hope that's what it is. I'd like to give you guys a shout out if it is Kissimmee RV Park. Big shout out, because they told me usually they don't accept dogs as large as the dog that I have, because my dog officially weighs 1 pound to like 1.9 pounds more than me. So my dog weighs more than I do now. So she's 178.9 or so, 179.9, something like that. But they usually don't take dogs that large, and for some reason, because I was able to sell my dog, because she's just a sweetheart, I was able to sell her. They said just because it's going to be such a short stay that they would make an exception for Pi. So we are extremely thankful for that, and thank you very much for it. And we can't wait to get down there and get situated and start exploring the park and checking out, more of Orlando. Like, both of us, I used to live in Orlando, so I'm not really, impressed by it. Some things, there's some things that have gone on since I've been there, but It's been a while since I've been there, so it'll be good. We have season passes to Universal Studios, so we're going to try and maybe grab my son because he has one also. We're going to try and grab my son, and we're all maybe going to try to make a day out of Universal Studios. Maybe, if not, maybe we'll go to our sister-in-laws, or maybe they'll come out to the RV park and I'll put some meat on the grill and we'll have a little barbecue and a little get-together out there after I shoot this wedding. So it's going to be a busy weekend, but it's going to be a very festive weekend, and I'm extremely excited about it. And yeah, I think depression for this week, it's down. It's down. Now, I do slip back in and out, and then I'm not sleeping through the night. I'm still getting up and having anxiety about certain things, and still dwelling on certain things, and but it's been a lot less, and I've been able to deal with it a lot better. So, and I'm glad, because I want to be in a good space before I jump behind the wheel of this vehicle, because it's not like getting in a car accident. It's like getting in your whole life accident, because I really am literally carrying my whole life with me. My wife, my 3 dogs, all of our clothes, electronics, everything, food, everything, cruising down the road. So if you guys are listening to me, or if you're out there, you're listening to my podcast, I might still be on the road. Pray for us. Pray for us. Pray for us. Shout me out on social media. I will get back to y'all and let you know what's popping and how our trip is going. I will try to post some updates also as I traverse my way through this state and to our destination. And like I said, try to take some pictures, get a little bit of content for my content creation or my content creaciones. So very thankful that you guys are listening to me. I really do appreciate it. I want to thank my wife for being the best wife she absolutely is, my mother, and I also want to pray because my mom's out of town and she will be taking a flight back into town on the same day that I am. Actually, she will be getting home at midnight this evening, and I will be leaving at about 5 o'clock in the morning. So we're probably going to be like 2 ships passing in the night, but I do want to tell you, Mother, that I love you and have a safe flight back home. And I want to shout out my best friend Jay for helping me develop and get my podcast popping. And I want to thank my producer Gentry Thomas, and also he's also the founder of the Podcast Playground, as well as Shack Food Radio. Check them both out if you haven't already. Check us out. It's dope. We got a hip hop station. It's dope. It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. After 5 p.m. is censored. Come get it popping with us. I want to give Gentry a big shout out, man, and thanks, G. I really do appreciate you, man, and I hope I'm doing you proud, and if I am, cool. That makes me feel good. But if I'm not, feel free to let me know. And just like the audience and everybody else out there, if there's something that I'm not doing, or that you want to hear me do, or you'd like to hear, or get at me, man. Get at me. Now, I've had one person. I'm glad I've had like a couple of people, maybe 1 or 2 people actually hit me in my DMs. I was on one lady's podcast, and then another dude, I'm going to reach back out to him, and I'm going to have him on my podcast, and I think I'm going to probably try and sit in on his podcast because he listened to my last week's podcast about religion, and he has a very unique approach, I'm going to say, to religion in the kingdom of God. So I want to hear his take on it. So it'll probably be a 1 and 2 punch, one on his and one on mine, but I might try to get up with him next week and try to put something together where we can maybe have a Zoom call, or link up with each other some way, somehow, so we can get some podcast action popping. So I think that is going to do it for this week's episode of the Deron Harris Podcast. Like I said, I love you guys, man. I do appreciate you listening to me. And again, if I could do anything to get better for y'all, let me know, and I will jump on it like a hot rock. So thanks, y'all. I appreciate it. I will check y'all out next week. For now, peace. Oh, yeah. You've been listening to the Deron Harris Podcast.